Well, good day to you. I'm Alex Jensen. You're listening to The World Comes to Seoul on 101.3 in Seoul, GFN 98.7 in Gwangju and 93.7 in Yosu. This is a special broadcast, if you're just joining us, in celebration of TBS's 24th anniversary. So we're out at Cheonggye Square in the Jongno district of central Seoul, and we're getting more and more tourists gathering around, taking photos of this red and blue swirling monument that I'm sure you'll remember or recognize if you have been to Cheonggye Square. It is an absolute must-visit area anyway, with palaces and Gwanghwamun and other major shopping districts nearby if you are on your first visit or you're planning a first visit to this area. Our regular program this morning will air as usual tomorrow. We've already heard diverse opinions from different people with different backgrounds in this city and in Korea, generally speaking, in the first hour, finding out what makes this city so alluring. But now, sitting next to me, allow me to introduce Taru Salminem, a 15-year Seoul resident from Finland. You may well be familiar with her name and her face, having seen her on various TV programs as well. Well, we've got the pleasure of your voice today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And we've also got Chance Dorland, who's been a regular throughout the show, going out and about onto the streets to get a sense as well of how people are feeling out there, what their motivations were perhaps for visiting Seoul or for living here. How are things going for you, Chance?
Alex, it's going very well. I think I'm maybe even talking to too many people out here on the streets. I found an awesome couple. I've really enjoyed speaking with them. They're fresh off the plane, if you will, from the United States. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Tom from Colorado.
I'm Kara from Colorado.
And so I'm American, but I've lived in Korea for the last year, and then a little while ago before that, another year, and I've lived abroad quite a lot, so I kind of forget, if you will, what the States are like. Being here in Seoul, freshly off the plane, what are the differences that you're noticing compared back, to Denver, Colorado, or back in the States?
I think one of the first things we noticed on the way from the airport is how quiet the subway actually is. For as many people actually ride the subway, I'm from New York originally, so I'm used to a lot of chaos, a lot of conversation on the subway, but there's virtually silence.
And for me, just the signs in the different languages is always interesting. And
now, Alex, that's something we've talked about prior on the show, the fact that a lot of the advertisements that may not even be catered towards foreigners are actually in English. And so as a foreigner here in Seoul, it's very friendly. And as you just mentioned, I also lived in New York, completely different subway system.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the fact that everyone's on their smartphones probably accounts for that silence, right? I mean, you must have noticed many more people of different ages being wired up compared with your hometowns.
Yeah, we were actually trying to get the Wi-Fi access on there because we thought it was really cool to have Wi-Fi in the subway, but apparently you have to pay for it at some point. Or
Keep walking around, you'll find some free Wi-Fi.
And Taru is sitting alongside us in the studio as well, and through your business, which we'll talk more about in a few moments, you meet all kinds of people from different walks of life. Is this something you get from them when they come and meet you as well, that they're just seeing something different that they've not witnessed before elsewhere in the world?
Of course, Korea is a very, very different experience. I mean, people usually, they expect something like in China or Japan, but then when they come to Korea, they notice that this is a totally different culture. And the people, also, they look different, I think. Don't you think so?
Well, I think people dress differently. They seem to be open to all kinds of different fashion trends. We're going to talk about fashion actually a bit later on in the show. But there is definitely something unique about this place, which we're just trying to capture an essence of. Back to you, Chance.
And Alex, I'm also joined by another person here. I believe this person is actually visiting from Russia, correct?
yes,
What's your name?
my name is Dasha.
And why did you come here to Seoul particularly?
It was my dream to come here, so here I am.
And so when you say dream, I have many friends that are from China, that are from other parts of Asia, and I have some Russian friends as well. And a lot of them, when they say something so important like it is my dream, it usually has to do with K-pop or television. Is that your case, or do you have another dream that's associated with Korea?
I don't know. I used to learn Korean, so that's why.
That's an interesting point, because we also hear of more and more Korean language students, not just coming to Korea, but doing so around the world. Why would Korean language have appealed to you?
To be honest, Because it's very interesting language, I think.
Well, Russian's an interesting language as well. Я говорю по-русски a little, not much.
International
But
Alex
I actually-
Jensen.
No, I studied a bit of Russian for the same reason. I agree, there is something exotic maybe about taking a language that appears to be completely different and taking it on.
Well, thank you very much, and best of luck. I'm also learning Korean here, and so it's not an easy language, but it's something that, you know, the more I do it, the more I want to learn, but as I've discussed with my friends, the more I learn, the more I know that I need to learn, and that's a work in progress. But I'm joined by some more people. Where are you from? You're visiting Seoul.
Yeah, we're from Wales.
And what brought you originally here to Korea?
I've come for work. So last week, the company I work for in England has just acquired a company here in South Korea. So I came out for a week to do some work and decided that Seoul's such a fantastic location that we'd stay on for another week and do a bit of sightseeing.
And that's something we've been talking about here, bringing foreigners to Seoul. You know, we just mentioned studying the language, but then also you have business opportunities. You have foreigners who come here and start their own businesses. What have you found that you think Seoul is really doing well, that maybe where some people are coming? We have this sign behind you. Some people have been picking, like, you know, for instance, fun nightlife. Seoul's known for that. We have history, workaholics. I think Seoul's really known for the education fever, but actually people have been voting with their stomach, and food is really popular here.
Yeah, well, I was here for the Bio Korea conference as well last week. So, and we both come from a digital background. So I think technology and sort of medical, pharmaceutical advances here are phenomenal. Much faster than back at home, certainly. And the uptake here seems to be everyone's really willing to work harder and take on new things.
Chance, we do have to take a break, but I just want to take this opportunity. Please send my regards to the UK when you get back.
That's right.
I mean,
We will.
By the way, one thing about the UK, when I think back, you know, my memory is greenery. Have you been surprised that Seoul actually has quite a lot of inner city greenery? Because I didn't expect to see, you know, trees lining the streets and so on. They seem to have made an effort, for example, where we are right now, this stream, to bring a bit of nature after that rapid urbanization. Has that desired effect actually made itself known to you guys?
I would say yes, because it is absolutely beautiful. You've got all these massive buildings and all this crazy sort of architecture, and then you've got this beautiful lush green areas that you can really enjoy, and we've just strolled down here to see what that's like, and obviously ended up here.
Although glad to see the weather's making us feel a bit more at home today.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's been wonderful hearing from you guys. We've heard from several different nationalities already today. Chance Dorland, please keep up your wonderful efforts. Thank you very much. We will hear from you again a bit later on in the show. I do still have Taru alongside me. We're going to be focusing on the business end of Seoul after this short break.